Nottingham's punching preacher Derek Del Boyo Sese was back in the ring at the weekend, looking to add another victory to an increasingly impressive tally. Derek is here now. How'd it go, man?
Yeah, it was a great fight. Apparently, it was voted fight of the night after. So yeah, it was my first one away on the road. I knew I was fighting someone who was just as good as me. He has a winning record. He had double the amount of fights I had as well. So he had six wins out of 8 fights. So I knew that it was going to be a tough fight, but I loved the challenge. Yeah, it was end-to-end action for 4 rounds. So yeah, and I came out with unanimous points victory.
I think it's fair to say that it's harder on the road than it is when you're fighting at home, right?
Yeah, it is. It's the elements why it's hard is because you're facing a hometown fighter, so he definitely had a lot more support there. But also, you know, being that you're facing a hometown fighter, there's a certain different element that you have when you're fighting in your home corner, you know, because you have your support, your friends and family there. So it sort of kind of gives you a different level of motivation. But I feel like I thrived off the challenge, you know. I loved the fact of just being able to go there and just focusing on just the fight itself, not having to deal with all the other pressures of when you're fighting in the home corner. So yeah, and I think that brought out a very good side of me, so yeah.
In terms of the difficulty of the fight, how did it compare to the ones you've had previously? Because last time you did like first round stoppage, right?
It's crazy, you know, it is. I feel like sometimes after coming off a back of a first round victory, I think it's quite good to keep your feet on the ground, so I probably wouldn't change the result. And in terms of the fight, I would say it was hard because it was fought at extremely high pace. I knew that I had to start very fast. My coach said, you know, he's a hometown fighter, you need to start fast in the first round. In the first round, I had the opportunities to probably stop the fight, and he was a lot tougher than I anticipated. So he survived quite, I'd say, some very damaging attacks from myself in the first round. So I think after then, it was just having to regroup and be able to manage my energy, be conservative, but still be the aggressor in the fight. So I feel like for me, it was a great learning fight, and definitely one that's going to put me in good foundations going forward.
And you're already eyeing up the next fight, right?
Yeah, so I'll be out again on the 14th of July in my hometown of London, so I'm looking forward to it. So at least with this one, I've got a good about just under 5 weeks, enough time to rest, and then straight back into training later today.
That's soon though, you know, to be going on again so quickly.
Do you know what it is? I feel like based on how much rest you have in between your fights, you really have to listen to your body. You'll come through some fights where you want to go back and train the next day. Some fights, physically you feel great. Sometimes mentally you need a break. But I feel like 2-3 days is enough, you know. I've enjoyed myself. I just want to, sometimes you kind of miss the whole routine as well. Like you miss the structure, because I live boxing, so once boxing is not, I don't get to box or train, I feel like, what else am I doing?
Yeah, bit of a hole in life. Look, stay with us, Derek, because